You wake up every morning and look in the mirror. You see your face, your eyes, your reflection staring back at you. But here's what no one tells you about that moment. You're not just looking at your physical form. You're gazing into the quantum field itself. And that field is gazing back with the exact frequency of how you see yourself. Most people think reality is something that happens to them. They believe the world exists independently, that circumstances are beyond their control, that life is a series of random events they must navigate and survive. But what if I told you that every single thing you experience in your external reality is nothing more than a perfect mirror reflection of your internal relationship with yourself? This isn't metaphor. This isn't wishful thinking. This is quantum mechanics playing out in the theater of your daily existence. And once you understand how this mirror works, everything changes. You are living inside a reflection chamber. Every interaction, every circumstance, every person who shows up in your life is the universe holding up a mirror to show you exactly how you see yourself at the deepest levels. The person who dismisses you reflects the part of you that dismisses yourself. The opportunity that feels just out of reach mirrors the way you hold yourself just out of reach from your own potential. The love that feels conditional reflects the conditions you place on your own self-acceptance. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people spend their entire lives trying to change the reflection instead of changing what's being reflected. They try to fix their relationships without examining their relationship with themselves. They attempt to attract better circumstances while carrying the same internal frequency that created the current ones. They chase external validation while internally invalidating their own worth. It's like standing in front of a mirror trying to comb the hair of your reflection instead of combing your actual hair. The mirror isn't broken. The mirror is working perfectly. It's showing you exactly what you're broadcasting into the quantum field through your self-perception. Let me explain how this works at the level of consciousness itself. In quantum physics, we know that the observer effect changes the nature of reality. The very act of observation collapses infinite possibilities into one experienced outcome. But what most people don't realize is that you are constantly observing yourself. And this self-observation is the primary creative force shaping your entire reality. Every thought you think about yourself, every belief you hold about your worth, every story you tell about your capabilities sends a signal into the quantum field. That field then arranges itself to reflect back experiences that match the frequency of your self-observation. This isn't law of attraction in some surface-level, think positive thoughts way. This is the fundamental mechanics of how consciousness creates reality. When you observe yourself as someone who doesn't deserve love, the field reflects back relationships that withhold love. When you observe yourself as someone who isn't capable of success, the field reflects back circumstances that confirm your limitations. When you observe yourself as someone who must struggle to survive, the field reflects back experiences that require struggle. The mirror is flawless. It never lies. It only shows you what you're broadcasting. But here's what changes everything. The moment you begin to shift how you observe yourself, reality immediately begins to shift to match that new observation. Not eventually. Not after you've done enough work or proved yourself worthy. Immediately. Because the mirror cannot help but reflect what's actually there. This is where most people get stuck. They try to change their self-perception through their mind, through positive affirmations, through mental techniques. But self-perception lives deeper than thought. It lives in the body, in the nervous system, in the cellular memory of every experience you've ever had. It's encoded in your posture, your breathing, your energy field, the way you move through space. You cannot think your way into a new self-perception. You must embody it. Let me share with you what this looks like in practice. There's a reason why when you walk into a room feeling confident and comfortable with yourself, people respond to you differently. It's not because you're performing confidence or trying to project an image. It's because your internal relationship with yourself is broadcasting a frequency, and others are unconsciously responding to that frequency. The external mirror is reflecting your internal reality. When you truly see yourself as valuable, others treat you as valuable. When you truly see yourself as capable, opportunities that match your capabilities appear. When you truly see yourself as worthy of love, love flows toward you naturally. The mirror cannot help but show you what you're actually being. But this requires something most people are unwilling to do. You must become willing to see yourself clearly, without the stories, without the justifications, without the protective mechanisms you've built around your self-image. Most people are terrified of looking directly into the mirror of their own self-perception because they're afraid of what they might see. They're afraid they might discover they don't actually like themselves very much. They're afraid they might realize they've been living from patterns of self-judgment, self-criticism, self-abandonment. They're afraid the mirror might show them they've been their own worst enemy. But here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you become willing to see yourself clearly, with compassion, without trying to fix or change what you see, something miraculous happens. The mirror begins to reflect back not your judgments about yourself, but your essential nature. Not your stories about your limitations, but your actual unlimited potential. This is what spiritual traditions have been pointing to for thousands of years when they talk about self-realization. It's not about becoming someone different. It's about seeing who you actually are beneath all the layers of conditioning, beneath all the stories you've been told about yourself, beneath all the ways you've learned to disconnect from your own essence. You are not your thoughts about yourself. You are not your emotional reactions to yourself. You are not your past experiences or your future fears. You are the aware presence that observes all of these things. And that aware presence is pure potential, pure creativity, pure love. When you begin to identify with this aware presence rather than with your mental commentary about yourself, the mirror of reality begins to reflect back experiences that match this deeper truth. Instead of reflecting your limitations, it reflects your limitless nature. Instead of reflecting your wounds, it reflects your wholeness. Instead of reflecting your separation, it reflects your connection to everything. But this isn't about pretending you don't have challenges or bypassing your human experience. This is about changing the fundamental ground from which you observe yourself having those challenges. When you observe your struggles from the perspective of your essential nature, rather than from the perspective of your wounded identity, even your struggles become gateways to deeper wisdom and compassion. The mirror doesn't judge what it reflects. It simply reflects. When you stop judging what you see in the mirror of your life and start using it as information about your internal state, you reclaim your power as the conscious creator of your experience. This is where the practice begins. Right now, as you're listening to these words, notice how you're relating to yourself in this moment. Are you judging yourself for not already knowing this? Are you criticizing yourself for past choices? Are you feeling pressure to fix or change something about yourself? Or are you able to simply be present with yourself, exactly as you are, with curiosity and compassion? This quality of presence is what changes everything. Not trying to change yourself, but changing how you hold yourself in your own awareness. Take a breath and and feel into your body right now. Notice where you might be contracting against yourself, where you might be holding tension from self-judgment, where you might be armoring against your own experience. And now, with gentleness, soften toward yourself. Not trying to fix anything, just softening. This softening is what allows the mirror to show you your true nature, rather than your resistance to your true nature. Here's a practice that will begin to shift your reality immediately. For the next 7 days, every time you look in an actual mirror, instead of immediately going to judgment about your appearance, pause and make eye contact with yourself. Really look into your own eyes and silently say, "I see you. I honor you. I'm here with you." This isn't about self-love affirmations or trying to convince yourself of something that doesn't feel true. This is about establishing a fundamental relationship of presence and respect with yourself. You're learning to observe yourself from love rather than from judgment. Notice what happens in your external reality when you begin to observe yourself from this quality of presence. Notice how people respond to you differently. Notice what opportunities appear. Notice how your entire energy field shifts when you're no longer at war with your own reflection. But let me take this deeper, because there are layers to this mirror that most people never discover. The observer mirror doesn't just reflect how you see yourself in this moment. It reflects how you see yourself across time. Your current reality is a reflection of your deepest beliefs about who you are, what you deserve, what's possible for someone like you. These beliefs were formed early in life, often before you had the capacity to question them, and they've been running in the background of your consciousness like invisible software programs. If you were taught that love is conditional, your reality mirror reflects conditional love back to you. If you internalized that you must prove your worth through achievement, your reality mirror reflects experiences where your worth feels contingent on performance. If you absorbed the belief that the world is unsafe, your reality mirror reflects back situations that confirm this perceived danger. The extraordinary thing is that these programs can be rewritten, but not through mental effort alone. They must be rewritten at the cellular level, in the very fabric of your nervous system, through embodied experience of new possibilities. This is why insight alone doesn't create lasting change. You can understand intellectually that you deserve love, but if your nervous system is still programmed to expect rejection, the mirror will reflect experiences that match the nervous system programming, not the intellectual understanding. If this understanding is resonating with you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay connected with these consciousness-expanding insights. True transformation happens when your body, your energy, your entire being begins to embody a new relationship with yourself. When every cell in your body knows that you are worthy, when your nervous system is wired for safety and connection, when your energy field broadcasts the frequency of your authentic self-worth, then the mirror has no choice but to reflect this new reality back to you. This is embodied self-realization. This is quantum transformation. This is how you literally change your reality by changing how you see yourself. But there's something even more profound happening here that most people miss entirely. When you change how you see yourself, you're not just changing your personal reality. You're changing your relationship to the entire fabric of existence itself. You're shifting your position in the quantum field, and this shift ripples out through dimensions of reality that extend far beyond what your physical senses can perceive. Think about it this way. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you hold about yourself is a vibrational frequency that you're broadcasting into the infinite field of consciousness. This field is not separate from you. It is you, extended beyond the boundaries of your physical form. When you shift the frequency of your self-perception, you're literally tuning yourself to a different station in the cosmic radio of existence. This is why ancient wisdom traditions spoke of enlightenment as a sudden, instantaneous transformation. It's not that you gradually become enlightened over time. It's that you suddenly tune into the frequency of your enlightened nature that was always there, always broadcasting, waiting for you to adjust your receiver. The observer mirror is showing you, moment by moment, which frequency you're currently tuned to. When you see criticism reflected back to you, you know you're tuned to the frequency of self-criticism. When you see love reflected back to you, you know you're tuned to the frequency of self-love. When you see limitation reflected back to you, you know you're tuned to the frequency of self-limitation. But here's where it gets truly extraordinary. You can change the frequency in an instant. Not through years of therapy, not through decades of spiritual practice, not through accumulating more knowledge or achievements. You can change the frequency simply by choosing to observe yourself from love in this moment. The challenge is that most people have been tuned to frequencies of limitation for so long that they think those frequencies are who they are. They think the static and interference they hear is the actual music. They've forgotten that they have the power to adjust the dial. This is why the mirror appears to be showing you problems that need to be fixed. The mirror isn't showing you problems. The mirror is showing you frequencies that are ready to be tuned to a higher octave. Every challenge in your life is actually a frequency that's asking to be elevated. When you understand this, you stop trying to solve your problems and start tuning to higher frequencies. Instead of trying to fix your relationship, you tune to the frequency of unconditional love. Instead of trying to force abundance, you tune to the frequency of infinite supply. Instead of trying to heal your body, you tune to the frequency of perfect wholeness. The mirror then reflects back experiences that match these higher frequencies, not because you've manipulated reality, but because you've remembered what frequency you actually are. Let me share with you what this process actually looks like as it unfolds. In the beginning, you might notice small shifts. Maybe someone offers you a seat on the bus when you're feeling particularly kind toward yourself. Maybe you receive an unexpected compliment on a day when you chose to appreciate yourself. Maybe you get a green light when you're in harmony with your own rhythm. These seem like coincidences, but they're actually the mirror reflecting your shifting internal state. As you continue to cultivate a loving relationship with yourself, the reflections become more significant. Career opportunities that align with your true interests begin to appear. Relationships that honor your authentic self are drawn into your life. Creative projects that express your unique gifts find support and recognition. The mirror is showing you what becomes possible when you stop fighting with your own reflection. But here's where many people get confused. They think this means life becomes easy, that challenges disappear, that everything always goes their way. This isn't how the mirror works. The mirror reflects your relationship with yourself, and part of a healthy relationship with yourself is being able to navigate challenges with grace, wisdom, and resilience. When you have a loving relationship with yourself, the mirror doesn't stop reflecting difficult situations. Instead, it reflects your capacity to meet those situations from a place of strength and self-trust. Your challenges become opportunities to practice loving yourself through uncertainty. Your obstacles become invitations to discover deeper levels of your own resourcefulness. The mirror always serves your highest growth, but it can only reflect back the quality of self-relationship you're actually embodying. not the one you think you should have or wish you had. This is why the practice of conscious self-observation is so crucial. You must become aware of how you're actually relating to yourself in each moment, especially in the difficult moments, because those are the moments when your deepest patterns reveal themselves. When something triggering happens in your external reality, instead of immediately trying to fix the external situation, pause and ask yourself, how am I seeing myself in this moment? What is this situation reflecting back to me about my relationship with myself? Maybe you're being criticized, and you notice that the external criticism is triggering your internal critic. The mirror is showing you that you still have a part of yourself that's harsh and judgmental toward yourself. This isn't bad or wrong. This is information. This is the mirror helping you become aware of what needs your attention and healing. Maybe you're facing a financial challenge, and you notice it's bringing up feelings of not being worthy of abundance. The mirror is showing you that somewhere in your system, you still carry beliefs about your deserving. Again, this isn't punishment. This is the mirror helping you discover what's ready to be transformed. Maybe you're experiencing loneliness, and you realize it's reflecting the ways you abandon yourself when you need your own companionship most. The mirror is showing you where you can deepen your relationship with yourself. Every challenge becomes a gift when you understand it as the mirror showing you exactly what's ready to heal, what's ready to evolve, what's ready to be loved back into wholeness. But here's the crucial part. You cannot heal your relationship with yourself through judgment. You cannot evolve through self-criticism. You cannot love yourself back into wholeness through force or manipulation. The mirror responds to the quality of your presence, not the content of your thoughts. When you meet your own patterns, wounds, and limitations with compassion and curiosity rather than judgment and rejection, the mirror begins to reflect back a reality that supports your healing and growth. This is the difference between spiritual bypassing and authentic transformation. Spiritual bypassing tries to skip over the difficult parts and pretend everything is already perfect. Authentic transformation meets what's actually present with love and allows the love to do the transforming. When you can look at your own jealousy, your own fear, your own anger, your own insecurity with the same compassion you would offer a dear friend, something magical begins to happen. These aspects of yourself stop being enemies to defeat and become parts of yourself that are asking for understanding and integration. I'm curious, what aspect of yourself are you learning to meet with more compassion? Share in the comments what part of your humanity you're choosing to embrace rather than resist. The mirror then reflects back relationships where others meet your humanity with compassion. It reflects back situations where your imperfections are seen as endearing rather than shameful. It reflects back a world that supports your wholeness rather than demanding your perfection. This is what it means to heal the observer. You're not trying to become someone different. You're learning to observe yourself with love. Now I want to address something that often comes up when people begin working with the observer mirror principle. Sometimes people worry that if reality is reflecting their relationship with themselves, then they're somehow responsible for everything bad that's ever happened to them. This is a misunderstanding that can lead to spiritual self-abuse. The observer mirror principle is not about blame or self-responsibility in the way the mind wants to interpret it. It's about recognizing your creative power and learning to use it consciously. Many of the patterns that are reflected in your reality were established before you had any conscious choice in the matter. You inherited trauma. You absorbed limiting beliefs from your environment. You developed coping strategies based on the best information you had at the time. The mirror isn't reflecting these patterns to punish you or to prove that you're somehow at fault. The mirror is reflecting these patterns to help you become conscious of them so you can choose differently now. This is the difference between self-responsibility and self-blame. Self-responsibility says, now that I'm aware of this pattern, I have the power to transform it. Self-blame says, I'm bad for having this pattern and I should have known better. The mirror responds to self-responsibility with empowerment and possibility. The mirror responds to self-blame with more experiences that confirm your badness and unworthiness. So as you work with these principles, be vigilant about the quality of attention you bring to your own patterns and limitations. Meet them as opportunities for growth, not as evidence of failure. Let me offer you another practice that can accelerate your work with the observer mirror. Every evening before you go to sleep, reflect on the day and identify 3 things that happened in your external reality. For each situation, ask yourself, what does this reflect about how I'm seeing myself? Don't analyze or try to figure it out mentally. Just feel into your body and notice what arises. Maybe someone was impatient with you, and you feel into it and notice that you've been impatient with yourself lately. Maybe you received unexpected help, and you realize you've been practicing asking for support more kindly. Maybe you felt invisible in a social situation, and you recognize that you've been hiding parts of yourself. After you identify the reflection, the next step is crucial. Instead of judging yourself for what you discover, thank the mirror for showing you what's present. Say to yourself, thank you for showing me this. I'm ready to love this part of myself. Then, place your hands on your heart and breathe compassion toward whatever aspect of your self-relationship has been revealed. Not trying to fix it, not trying to change it, just breathing love toward it. This practice trains you to see your external reality as a friendly mirror rather than as a threatening force. It teaches you to use every experience as information that can guide you deeper into self-love and self-understanding. As you develop this capacity, you'll begin to notice that reality becomes less chaotic and more supportive. Instead of feeling like random things are happening to you, you'll recognize that everything is happening for you as information and invitation to evolve your relationship with yourself. What shift have you noticed in your reality when you began seeing challenges as mirrors rather than obstacles? Drop a comment sharing your experience of this perspective change. But let's go even deeper into how this mirror operates, because there are aspects of this that are so subtle most people never become conscious of them. The observer mirror doesn't just reflect your conscious thoughts about yourself. It reflects the entire energetic signature of your being, including unconscious patterns, ancestral trauma, collective conditioning, and even the relationship your soul has with itself across lifetimes. This is why sometimes the reflections you receive in your external reality seem to have nothing to do with your current conscious beliefs about yourself. You might be working on self-love and still attract relationships that trigger your abandonment wounds. You might be practicing abundance mindset and still face financial challenges. This doesn't mean the mirror is broken or that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes the mirror is reflecting deeper layers that are ready to be healed, patterns that run so deep they're encoded in your cellular memory, your DNA, your energy field. The mirror brings these patterns to the surface through your external experiences, so you can become conscious of them and choose to transform them. This is actually a gift, although it rarely feels like one in the moment. The mirror is showing you what's been unconsciously running your life, so you can finally address it at the root level. When you understand this, you stop taking your external challenges as evidence that you're not evolved enough, or spiritual enough, or healed enough. Instead, you recognize them as evidence that you're ready for the next level of liberation, the next layer of freedom, the next depth of self-realization. The mirror only shows you what you're ready to see and heal. It never gives you more than you can handle, although it might give you exactly as much as you can handle, which can feel overwhelming until you learn to trust the process. There's a sacred intelligence operating through this mirror that's far more sophisticated than your conscious mind could ever orchestrate. This intelligence knows exactly what experiences will catalyze your next level of growth, exactly what relationships will activate your deepest healing, exactly what challenges will invite you to discover strengths you didn't know you had. When you start to recognize this sacred intelligence at work in your life, something profound shifts in how you relate to your experiences. Instead of feeling like a victim of random circumstances, you begin to feel like a beloved student in the ultimate mystery school, where every lesson is perfectly calibrated to support your evolution. This intelligence speaks to you through symbols, synchronicities, and seemingly coincidental events. When you're contemplating whether you're worthy of love, a stranger smiles at you on the street. When you're wondering if you're on the right path, you see a billboard with exactly the message you needed to hear. When you're questioning your creative abilities, an opportunity appears that perfectly matches your unique gifts. These aren't random occurrences. These are the mirror's way of confirming that you're beginning to align with higher frequencies of self-perception. The intelligence behind the mirror is constantly communicating with you, offering feedback, encouragement, and course corrections to support your journey home to yourself. But this intelligence can only work with the material you give it. If you're broadcasting frequencies of unworthiness, it will arrange experiences that help you discover your worth through contrast. If you're broadcasting frequencies of scarcity, it will create opportunities for you to recognize the abundance that surrounds you. If you're broadcasting frequencies of separation, it will orchestrate connections that remind you of your inherent belonging. The key is learning to work consciously with this intelligence rather than unconsciously against it. When you understand that every reflection in the mirror is this intelligence trying to help you tune to higher frequencies, you stop resisting what appears and start asking, what frequency is this experience inviting me to discover? This question changes everything. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what frequency of self-perception is this experience reflecting? And what higher frequency is it inviting me to embody? This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but embodied trust in the intelligence of your own growth process. When you trust that everything reflected in your reality is somehow serving your evolution, you can meet even the difficult reflections with curiosity instead of resistance. And here's what I've discovered after years of working with this principle. The moment you stop fighting with what the mirror is showing you and start using it as guidance for how to love yourself more deeply, everything shifts. The mirror stops reflecting conflict and starts reflecting cooperation. It stops reflecting problems and starts reflecting solutions. It stops reflecting limitation and starts reflecting possibility. This doesn't happen because you've manipulated the mirror or because you've become perfect. It happens because you've changed the fundamental frequency from which you observe yourself, and therefore the frequency that gets reflected back to you. At this point in our exploration, I want you to pause and take a moment to really feel into what we've been discussing. Take a moment and comment below with this phrase: I am the conscious observer of my own creation. Don't just type these words mechanically. Feel into them. Let them land in your body. Let them resonate through your entire being as a declaration to the quantum field that you're ready to step into conscious relationship with the mirror of reality. This isn't just a comment. This is an energetic signature you're sending into the field, This is a conscious interruption in the loop of unconscious creation. This is you claiming your power as the observer who shapes what gets observed. Now let's talk about what happens when you really begin to embody conscious observation of yourself. When you consistently meet yourself with presence, compassion, and curiosity, something remarkable occurs. You begin to fall in love with your own existence. Not in an egotistical way, not in a narcissistic way, but in the way you might fall in love with a sunset or a piece of music or a work of art. You begin to appreciate the incredible complexity and beauty of your own consciousness. You begin to marvel at your own capacity for growth, for healing, for creative expression. When you're in love with your own existence, the mirror cannot help but reflect back a reality that celebrates you. Not because you're perfect, but because you've learned to see your own imperfections as part of your unique beauty. Not because you never make mistakes, but because you've learned to see your mistakes as evidence of your courage to keep growing and exploring. This is when life becomes truly magical. When you wake up each day genuinely excited to see what the mirror will show you, not because you expect everything to be easy, but because you trust that whatever appears is somehow serving your continued awakening. You begin to see challenges as adventures. You begin to see obstacles as creative puzzles to solve. You begin to see other people's reactions to you as information about both their state and your own, rather than as judgments about your worth. Most importantly, you begin to see yourself as the artist of your own reality, rather than as the victim of circumstances beyond your control. You recognize that every day you wake up with a blank canvas, and through the quality of your self-observation, you paint the experiences that will show up in your life. This is mastery, not the mastery of controlling external circumstances, but the mastery of consciously creating through the quality of your internal relationship with yourself. But mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means presence. It means the willingness to keep meeting yourself with love, no matter what the mirror reveals. It means the commitment to keep growing, keep learning, keep evolving your capacity for self-compassion. Some days you'll nail it. You'll move through the world with such grace and self-love that the mirror reflects back pure magic. Other days you'll forget everything you know and fall back into old patterns of self-judgment and reactivity. This is normal. This is human. This is part of the process. The key is not to judge yourself for having off days, but to use even your off days as information about what parts of yourself are asking for more attention, more healing, more integration. Remember, the mirror is always friendly. It's always trying to help you become more conscious, more compassionate, more aligned with your true nature. Even when it's showing you something difficult, it's doing so in service of your freedom. As we move toward the completion of our time together, I want to offer you a visualization that can help you integrate everything we've explored. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath and feel your body in this moment. Now imagine that you're standing in front of an infinite mirror, a mirror that reflects not just your physical form, but the entire energetic signature of your being. In this mirror, you can see all the parts of yourself, the parts you're proud of and the parts you try to hide, the parts that feel strong and the parts that feel vulnerable, the parts that are healed and the parts that are still healing. And instead of judging any of what you see, you simply witness it all with compassion. Now imagine that this mirror begins to show you not just who you are in this moment, but who you're becoming. You see the version of yourself that has learned to love all of your aspects. You see the version of yourself that moves through the world with grace and confidence and openness. You see the version of yourself that trusts life completely, because you trust yourself completely. Feel into this future version of yourself. How do they hold their body? How do they breathe? What quality of presence do they embody? And now imagine that this future version of yourself steps out of the mirror and merges with you, right here, right now. Feel their self-love becoming your self-love. Feel their trust becoming your trust. Feel their presence becoming your presence. Take a breath and open your eyes. This visualization isn't fantasy. This is you connecting with your own potential, your own future reality that's already available in this moment when you choose to see yourself through the eyes of love. The mirror is waiting to reflect this version of you back to you through your external reality. All it requires is your willingness to embody the love you just experienced in that visualization. Now, as we near the end of our exploration together, if what we've shared today is touching something deep within you, if you feel a resonance with these ideas that goes beyond intellectual understanding, if you sense that you're ready to step into conscious relationship with the mirror of your reality, then I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this frequency. You're not just subscribing to content, you're subscribing to a way of being. You're joining a community of conscious observers who are committed to creating reality through love, rather than through fear, through presence rather than through reactivity, through self-compassion rather than through self-judgment. Every person who chooses to embody conscious self-observation adds to the collective field of awakened consciousness on this planet. The more of us who remember that we are the observers of our own creation, the more the world reflects back the truth of our interconnectedness, our creative power, and our essential nature as love itself. This isn't just personal transformation. This is planetary transformation happening one conscious observer at a time. The work you do to heal your relationship with yourself doesn't just change your personal reality. It changes the collective reality. It contributes to a world where all beings are seen and honored for their essential nature, rather than judged for their temporary forms and expressions. So your commitment to loving yourself isn't selfish. It's one of the most generous gifts you can offer to the world. When you stop requiring others to validate your worth, you free them to discover their own worth. When you stop needing external circumstances to be different in order for you to be happy, you contribute to a field of unconditional love that touches everyone you encounter. This is the ripple effect of conscious self-observation. This is how individual awakening becomes collective healing. As we conclude our time together, I want to leave you with one final practice that ties everything together. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up and look in that mirror, instead of immediately going into your habitual patterns of self-assessment, pause and ask yourself this question. How can I see myself today in a way that would create a reality I would love to live in? Not how can I fix myself, not how can I become someone different, but how can I see myself today in a way that would create a reality I would love to live in? Then listen. Listen not with your mind, but with your whole being. Listen for the quality of presence that wants to emerge through you today. Listen for the frequency of self-love that wants to broadcast through your being today. Listen for the version of yourself that's ready to be born through your conscious observation today. And then, as you move through your day, keep returning to this frequency. Keep choosing to see yourself through the eyes of love. Keep remembering that every person you encounter, every situation you experience, every challenge you face is the mirror reflecting back the quality of your relationship with yourself. Use it all as information. Use it all as invitation. Use it all as opportunity to deepen your love affair with your own existence. Before we close, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, drop one word that captures the energy you're choosing to embody as you step into conscious relationship with the observer mirror. Just one word that represents your commitment to seeing yourself through love. This is your energetic signature to the quantum field, your declaration of the frequency you're choosing to broadcast into your reality. And if you're ready to stay connected to this frequency, to continue exploring what becomes possible when you remember that you are the conscious observer of your own creation, then subscribe not just to stay informed, but to stay coherent with the field of awakened consciousness we're creating together. Remember, the more of us who embody conscious self-observation, the more the world reflects that truth back to all of us. Your commitment to loving yourself is your contribution to the healing of our planet. Consider making this practice a daily ritual. Return to this video each morning to recalibrate your relationship with the observer mirror. And if you know someone who's struggling to see their own worth, share this with them. When you share these quantum consciousness principles, you create an energetic ripple that accelerates both your understanding and theirs, while contributing to the collective awakening we're all part of. The mirror is waiting. Your reality is waiting. Your highest potential is waiting. The only question is, how will you choose to see yourself today? You are the observer. You are the mirror. You are the reflection, and you are so much more beautiful than you have allowed yourself to see. The awakening begins now, but here's what's crucial to understand next. When you become conscious of being the observer, you can get trapped in repeating the same patterns of observation without realizing it. Your next step is mastering the observer loop, why you keep repeating the same reality, where you'll discover the hidden mechanism that keeps you cycling through familiar experiences and how to break free into entirely new realities.